Hi guys, this is Kat from Cat Tarot. So I just really want to give you a really quick response to basically quite a few comments that I'm basically receiving asking me to read the cards only upright. So I hope I'll be able to give you that answer and also the answer into the complexity of tarot, so maybe you'll be able to better understand it. Okay. So let me just tell you, this is not a person or two, because I had a similar discussion with some tarot readers, and to my surprise, quite a few were dead set against using reverse tarot cards in their readings. And some of their answers were, "What? You read with reversals? Why would you want to do that?" Or, "I never read the reversals. They are so negative. Reversals? No thanks." Or, "I don't need all the depressing energy in tarot readings." Or, "Clients always need to be left with the uplifting feeling." Well, I agree with that last statement. Clients always need to be left with the uplifting feeling. But I kind of do it a little bit differently. So let me backtrack. When I was learning tarot, while I was still a teenager, I also hated when a reverse card popped up. Immediately a doom and gloom feeling washed over me, and oh my gosh, he doesn't like me, oh my gosh, this is so bad, etc., etc. So I kind of get it. I think that you don't want that vibe happening to you, you know. Well, I'm not a teenager anymore, luckily, and I have learned that life has ups and downs, and while I'm riding the wave, I kind of get to enjoy everything, but things get tricky when the wave starts crashing down. So I actually prefer to tell you, hey, this wave will crash down, and I will give you basically the sign on the road and sign that you can acknowledge and change it. So if you have this continuing going forward, you're going to be at the dead end. Would you continue going this? So this is why I love reverse tarot cards. They bring an extra layer of depth and insight to my tarot readings that I just cannot get from upright cards. So reverse cards also give you more insight into the archetype and explanation in the cards. Now, to read tarot cards, just knowing the cards is not good enough. And also knowing the cards has many, many layers. For me, all these years I didn't stop learning, and I keep going and learning about different religions and learning about different archetypes and learning how they reflect to this. So each of these cards, I can tell you hours and hours about experiences, about the meanings. So reverse cards expand the understanding of what the tarot cards mean for you in a reading, and you can see the light and shade of a situation and identify where to release any blocks. So let me give you an example. Hierophant. Hierophant signifies a person who likes to follow the rules. Rules are everything, right? So this is why this card can represent a religious leader. This card can represent a boss, basically organization where you work. It can represent your parents, somebody who does have some kind of authority over you. In relationships, this is kind of signifying the rules we agree upon. This is why always when you start a relationship, you actually do have to check this. Do you really think we both agree, I don't know, thou shalt not cheat and these kind of things, right? So sometimes this card is equated with religious factors. Reason for that is religion sometimes give you sets of rules that you assume that other person will follow as well. Now, when this card comes reversed, this is not, well, now the person follows rules, the person doesn't follow rules. Sort of, but not exactly. This person wants you to follow the rules, but for them that's optional. So do as I say, not do as I do. Also, because these are the rules of a society, this card also signifies marriage and wedding and ceremony. But what if now we have these two cards? These two cards will tell me that there was the end of some kind of organized system that you have. That's bankruptcy of the corporation. That is the end of your marriage. It certainly, rules are not going to continue being the same, or one person decided that these rules kind of like don't work for them anymore. What if this happened this way? It's going to be the end of charade. Like, you are going to see through a person who's trying to pin you down with whatever their version is how you should live your life. What would happen this way? You are going to really try to make this person see the light, and they will tell you, yeah, I understand you, I get you, but they will lie to you. So Hierophant also is different when it kind of like links to certain other kind of cards. So for example, if we have these two cards, then we have a Hierophant and Justice. So when does this happen? Well, we are getting married, right? So the marriage can happen in this situation. And how about this? So there is like the Wheel of Fortune. So we have Hierophant, Justice, and a Wheel of Fortune. So this is some really happy occasion. But what if it happens like this? Now, this still could be a happy occasion. Pardon me, I had it reversed initially. It should be upright. What if this still is some kind of rules that we hope for a happy occasion, but certain things will not be happening the way we envision? Maybe we will be the one who will actually not follow those rules. Maybe we'll be the one who will question them. And what if this Wheel of Fortune, happiness, is followed by the death? Well, then there is the ending to that. So not all reverse cards, in fact, I would say not most of them are not negative. So here is the Justice card. We all love justice being served, unless it doesn't work for us, right? So this means the justice is really not served. Certain things are out of balance. But this kind of like would be a very superficial way of looking at tarot. This card really means, wait a minute, you have to wait for your turn. Right now you are tested. Are you going to have a knee-jerk reaction to something that just didn't happen the way you like it? Or you're going to bide your time and wait for things to even themselves out? Remember, each religion talks about that you do not take justice in your own hands. This is what this card says as well, especially when it is reversed, because now this card is warning you, be really aware of your own actions and how you approach things. Because right now, maybe you have been wronged, and we see that, but the crucial issue is here, you will be now accumulating bad, negative brownie points if you react to that situation. And we know that we kind of like always want to and strive to be happy, so sometimes we just want to tell and address things, but when this kind of comes reversed, it says this is just not the best time. Then we have the Chariot. This is kind of like a really interesting card. It's one of the rare cards with the stars in the sky, right? So the Chariot is talking about moving forward, trying to learn to be on the same page with the other people, kind of like trying to figure out what is the workable solution. But Chariot is more about conquering your own demons. For example, you want to lose weight and you're trying, and one diet and second diet and third diet, and you fail and you fail and you fail, and then finally you kind of like succeed and things start to move on. Now let's add to the Chariot the Star. So right now you are on your spiritual path. Now you're really conquering your own demons. You are really moving forward, and you really do not want to look behind anymore. You want to know what the future will bring for you. You are extremely hopeful, and you kind of like really believe that you can conquer anything. Then how about the Devil? Why would anybody want this card in the upright situation? This Devil is talking about us not being able to resolve our own problems. The devil is talking about us not being able to find this door, being in a room with a complete darkness, tapping on the walls, hoping we are going to find this. Essentially, it talks about doing same thing over and over and over and over again, and not getting any results that we are happy with. When devil is reversed, devil talks about us getting that idea that, wait a minute, I have to work inside. I have to figure out really how to get out of the situation, because only I can pry myself in. I have to ask for help. When these two cards are merged, this is really positive. It means you'll be seeking other people who can help you. Now, if these three cards are together, that would mean that maybe the court is going to order you to get help. That can talk about addictions, especially if something like this is happening. That means you kind of committed some kind of crime. You violated some rules, and hence maybe that pushed you to the bottom, and now the only way is to the top. Now, let's talk about this card. In the upright solution, the moon card talks about shadows. The moon is weird, right? We all walked out in the moonlight. It just looked amazing. But at the same time, it kind of was weird, because our mind kind of creates anything that we already know from the shadows, and we can get scared. And also, because our eyes are not adjusted to that darkness, we kind of like really always are cautious in the dark. So this is talking about the shadowy people. It is talking about people who kind of on the surface tell you one thing, but generally it is not the case behind the surface. So when the moon comes reversed, we are sort of like getting it. The day is coming, so all the shadows are disappearing. We are getting clarity on the matter. It's coming to us. We are not being able to be cheated or being sold any kind of a thing. So the Death card. Nobody likes to see this card, and yet it is an upright card. However, this is saying, look, certain things came to an end. Maybe you're sitting in a position that there is like just basically the end of the road. So it's saying, look, maybe this company will need to put a new blood in it, and this position is going to cease to exist. This, however, doesn't mean that you're going to lose your job. It means it's going to be something else. That usually comes up when you're pregnant, especially when you have something like this or something like this. This would actually mean, for example, that it's going to be the end of the pregnancy. If we have this, that could be a secret daughter. It could be the end of the secrecy as well. So as you see, like the more you layer the cards, the more meanings basically happen. And this is why life experiences are really, really important. And you just really cannot take cards at face value, because they don't have only upright and reverse meanings. They have many kind of different layers. Also, I need to commend everybody who is actually a subscriber on this channel, who is viewing here my readings, my little kind of blurbs. You are kind of unique viewers in some ways, and you're more sophisticated, and you are more interested in spiritual growth. So I know that when I give you a big picture, when I say, hey, you can heal it, you can accomplish this diet, you're going to conquer it, that you will know that if I tell you, well, wait a minute, this is a downfall, you're going to fail a few times, but then you're going to dust yourself off, you're going to conquer your demons, and finally find a way how to make it work for you. So you're going to understand that when I tell you you're getting there, this is just not easy as, oh, you're just getting there. You need to do your work, guys. You need to engage life, right? We all know it. We kind of get it. And that's why I kind of like and love my viewership. You guys understand that tarot is basically a story about our journey. And even though it's divided only on 12 different signs, in psychology it's even sometimes less. And sometimes it's in 4 different categories, sometimes even less. Sometimes it's just extrovert, introvert. So even though there are archetypes, when those archetypes start to kind of like mesh together, you have to really beware of the readings that are just black or white, or they're just upright. I do have to tell you that when somebody comes to me and they have a great reading, great, they're already sailing in a good direction. But what if I see something that might be happening, something that you're going to see on your road to the better future? Do you want me to kind of like say, oh, look, when you get over this mountain, everything is going to be so nice and so shiny? Or would you like me to tell you, hey, take a left turn, take a right turn, just don't go there because you're going to fall? Remember one thing, free will tops everything. So most of you get it, that these readings are here for you so you can actually take it, absorb it, and avoid these kind of like murky parts of the road. So I do know, guys, that we want to delve into what's happening within us. That's what the chariot basically is, about our own demons, about our own devils, and facing it. This is the journey of life, these 2 things. And of course, we all want to be hopeful, but we are not always like that, right? We sometimes just don't want to peel ourselves out of our beds. So if I tell you, hey, I see that you'll be having this on your way, and right now it is dark, but just get through it, dust yourself off, get back on your horse, because you will actually have the wind in your back. I think this is much better than me telling you, oh, I'm going to have the wind in your back, and then you fell in a hole. It is better to warn you, right? So in conclusion, does one need to read with reverse cards to be a good tarot reader? Not necessarily. However, reading with reverse tarot cards open up a whole new layer to your tarot readings and provides the opportunity to go even deeper with your intuitive insights, which in turn then can be a huge help to you. And I hope we agree that you prefer that I tell you that there is a massive hole in the road in front of you versus telling you the sun will shine when you get on the other side. So this is my explanation, and I hope you guys can understand that actually all this additional reversal and layers can only add more information. And lastly, remember one thing, bad readings are good. Yeah, bad readings are good, because you can avoid those holes in the road. And this is why I'm here to help. So this is my 2 cents. I would like to hear what you guys have to say. And you know that I love you.